Alright, so this was going to be a quiet little repair job that I did without too much effort and very quietly. This is a set of speakers that are cheap Sansai brand ones. These little grills go on the front and this little bit goes around the middle here. The USB or micro USB charging port is not working reliably on this. It's almost like it's been busted. I didn't know how to get into these speakers, and so I thought I would just fix them real quick, and it's going to turn into a video, I think. The main trick was this little ring around the middle was the first bit to get open, and like most things, this is how these videos start. I try and fix things real quietly, end up recording them because it's going to be an all-day job. But these have a little clip on the inside here. Yeah, I had to pop that up and pull that off. This ring came out, and then these little mesh bits here, you could take a spudger tool and you lever them up from the end here and they pop out. Then there are Phillips head screws all the way along. Tantalizingly, when you get that middle bit off, you can see all the ports and connections right there, but you can't quite get them out to solder a new one on. Alright, I got interrupted by the postie. The automatic doorbell didn't work today. So it looks like these bits stretch out and this comes out the top, but not quite enough for me to get a spudger in reliably. Okay, let's move along here. Can I get my fingers under this? This might help. And I can pop along. Yeah. Sometimes it is counterintuitive. You have to actually pop the opposite direction you think you're going to go. Oh, this is nice. It's in a nice little package like that. And two little 18650 batteries in a little pack here. This is pretty easy to work on. They're not all like this. But now I can see the socket there and I can have a bit of an inspect. So let's have a look at this close up. So the actual body of this isn't moving, but the pin inside the socket is free floating around, and it's only in certain circumstances that you can actually get it to charge. So the option we have is maybe replace this altogether with a different, like just a couple of wires, and put a socket externally, or we find something else that's got one of these sockets and we swap that out. Well, think about it, and I've got a heat gun. I can heat gun this off. Now, one thing I did notice with this is that when I plug a cable in, there wasn't that positive click that you normally get. On these cables, there's two little hooks on here. They're supposed to go into here and drop into these holes and click in nicely. Now, interestingly, now that I have this apart, that goes in nicely. I'm wondering if it's not the thickness of the bezel that's just simply preventing that from seating all the way in. Alright, this is a known working charge lead. So let's plonk this in, see if it plonks in more firmly. This one doesn't plonk in with much positive clicking, but I think the connectors are damaged on that. See, there we go. We had, that's a bit of debris, not a light. If I push one way, do we get connection? What about the other way? I don't see any red lights now. This is interesting. Alright, I'm going to have to investigate further and see what happened. Alright, so I have concluded the socket probably is the issue. I have unplugged the speakers, removed the board, and I found this Tiny 85 board with a socket on it that I can probably swap out. So it's time for the heat gun, and we're going to swap things around. Hopefully these pins line up. Alright, we're going to heat gun this and try and find a good angle in which I can get my arm around everything. Wait for a gun to come up to temperature. See if we can peel all this off. There's always the day where I film things that I have the shakes. Tip here is to keep your tweezers out of the way till you're ready to lift it off the board, which hopefully comes off without too much trouble. Awesome. Alright, we're going to clean our soldering iron here. A little bit of copper solder wick here. I'm just going to clean up our pads just a little bit here. It can be a little interesting to do this sometimes. And it doesn't help that my eyes are not the best right now. Alright, next step, now we remove our donor socket. Once we get our cables detangled, get you nice and warm here and keep everything out of the way. There we go, it's off. Alright, now this solder paste is very easy to use too much of this stuff. So I'm going to use just the end of a dressmaker's pin here. We're going to clean out some of the old junk out of here. Squeeze a little bit of fresh stuff out behind it, which is easy to do. We're going to put it on the edge of the table here. So we'll take ever so slightly tiny amount of this and dab around here. Okay, I had it on there. We've got to do it again. See if we can get this happening for the camera. We're just going to lower in from a distance, preheat things. Once it hits that threshold, it should just drop down like that. We want to get those 3 pins down there nice and hot so they bond. Now we'll let it cool, or not. We can just do that. Third time's a charm. Alright, lesson learnt. Once it's on there, let it cool and don't mess with it. Had to do a little bit of realignment, but I think it's on there. I'm going to let it cool for a good couple of minutes first. Now we need to verify it with the microscope if it's actually on properly. I would include microscope footage, but don't have the time or the energy for that today. Let's zoom in. We're right on the back of this. That's a chip socket. Here we go. Can I see what's going on here? It looks like all the pins are seated nicely, but crucially the 2 outer pins, the ones we need, are seated correctly. Okay, that's good news. Okay, now we have a known working charge cable. Let's see if this will charge. It is not. The batteries are connected. There should be LED here, should be lighting up. Oh, okay. Maybe we've got other issues with this. Maybe I've got some flux in the connector after heating it. Maybe I melted the connector. I don't know. It did work earlier. I could always put the original connector back on and see what happens. But I'm going to have a think. So I'm going to take my multimeter here and just check to see if we've got 5 volts actually getting where it needs to get. So we should have across the ground of this, and we should have a 5 volt on that pin. Don't appear to have 5 volts coming in. What about that pin? What we had something detectable there. 4.3 volts coming in. Alright, so it should be a little higher than that. But it does look like we actually have a connection to the board to charge it. Now, it could be that this has been flat so long that this battery didn't want to light up. But I did get a red light when I tested this before working on it. So what we could do is sit here and wait. Or I could flip over and check where the batteries connect to the board and see what the voltage says there. I have to peel a bit of this hot blue tack off. I'll stick that down gently here. We'll see what volts we get here. Let's see how lithium batteries are doing. Note to self, don't short these leads. So we are 3.4 volts on the cells. So that seems like it's above the protection voltage, but I might just let this sit for a while and we'll see what it does. Alright, so we've reassembled it. Still not entirely sure if it's charging or not. We're going to play with it for a while, see what happens, and report back.